Are you feeling fulfilled? Do you feel like you're on the right road to the journey you're taking, or do you feel flat and disappointed? What's happening around you? What circumstances are you in today? Are you in a place where you feel like you're not being favoured? And it may be in your workplace, in some kind of a social arena where you attend, maybe church or cricket club, it could be anything. But if you're in a workplace and you're giving everything you have, and you turn up early on a morning, you're working through your lunch break, staying late at night maybe, and you see other people around you perhaps being favoured where you're not. And often it doesn't quite feel enough, the qualities you have, being integrity and hard working. Sometimes it's not quite enough to get you to where you want to be. But when we see these things happen, other people being promoted around us, we feel like we're being neglected, pushed to one side, not valued, we still press on. You press on because of who you are, because you're full of integrity. You're that person who you're designed to be. That's who you are. And you can't take those shortcuts. You see other people taking them, but you can't do that. Whether it's a physical job, academic, you can't do that because you want to secure it from every angle and make sure that job's right. And other people are saying to you, oh, you can get away with that. And you're thinking, no. Other people might not notice, but you know what's right and wrong because that is who you are. And you're prepared to work through those lunch breaks, to stay that extra 10, 20 minutes, while other people are running away 10 minutes early and potentially causing another 2 hours work the following day. And to some degree you almost look down your nose, not in a bad way, but you're thinking to yourself, that's not the person I want to be, because that's not who you are. And as time presses on, and we continually have the same choices, don't we? We've got a choice of, let's get better in this situation. We become better through what we experience, or we can become bitter. And normally, the further we go on, we still keep coming to the same crossroads, bitter or better, bitter or better. And though our character carries us all through those situations, and it's the integrity of who we are which helps us to take the right road. But unfortunately, sometimes there's a danger of us getting bitter because we think I've had enough, one time after another, and we get to the point where we almost think, what is the point? And we can potentially become like the people we once, to some degree, looked down upon. I remember years ago, there's this assistant manager at the bank, fantastic guy. His manager had left and he was running the branch, he was a business manager there. He was doing the job by himself for a long while. And I can remember on this particular day, turning up and I saw this young lad and I thought, wow, they've promoted him, given him an assistant. But no. This young lad, they brought him in, he'd never even worked for a bank before, never mind had any experience. But they brought him in and made him the business manager. And this guy, the assistant manager, for years, he'd helped me. He'd worked through his lunch break, he'd stayed behind, he did everything to pull the stops out. He worked consistently and really dug his heels in when there were time constraints, and he always seemed to pull the trick out of the hat when it mattered. For me, he did. I can only see it from my own perspective. And when this young lad came in as his manager, he didn't only continue to turn up early, work through his lunch break, put the extra effort in, stay behind. No, he actually did the job of the guy above him. He did his job for him. Actually, his boss was his apprentice. Most of us at that point would have thought, enough, and moved on, would we not? I would be tempted to. I can remember thinking, at what point does loyalty become stupidity? I can remember saying that to him. But he continued pressing in. Later I found out that this young lad who they brought in above him, he was the nephew of this lady who was the area manager. We've all seen things like that at some point, have we not? And I really felt for this guy. But you know what? He persevered and he pressed in and he continued and he did not compromise who he was. And we're often tempted to compromise our character. But I want to encourage you not to compromise who you are, despite the circumstances, your situation you're in, what you're going through. And maybe that opportunity could have been taken away from you, that promotion could be taken away from you. But we are always in control of one thing, how we react and who we are. And there's one thing that nobody can take away from you except yourself, and that is your integrity, that's your own character. And I want to encourage you not to compromise who you are, regardless of what you're going through. This assistant manager later became a manager of a very large branch. He pressed in, he pressed on, and the guy who came in above him is no longer with the bank. Now, I'm not saying in every single circumstance that the cream always comes to the top. But there is a law, you can't give without receiving, even if it's your own fulfillment. Have you ever cheated on something and the way that you feel for not doing that job right or to the best of your ability? I can remember running over a line on a race once and I cheated. And I had people run round, putting their arms around me saying, well done. I felt so small. And in years to come, would you like to become that person what you once looked down upon and thought, well, you've become bitter. You've got like that, you thought, what is the point? And you're running away 10 minutes early. Are you being true to yourself by doing that? And never mind being true to yourself. Are you being right to the people who respect you, whether it's your son, your grandson, or the people around you who look up to you? Are you being right by them? I want to ask you today, no matter what you're going through, what you're experiencing, however hard those circumstances might feel, and how they're affecting you, whether you feel like they've taken the spring out of your step, whether you feel like, what is the point in going on, pushing like this when I never seem to be rewarded for it, whether you're taking another step and thinking, what is the point, whether you're staying behind that extra power thinking, why am I doing this? Well, it's your own conscience we have to deal with. And at the end of the day, who you are is the end product. It's not what you achieve, it's not the accolades, it's not what promotion you get. It's who you become on that journey. And I want to encourage you to become better, not bitter. Don't ever compromise on who you are and your character, regardless of the circumstances and the situation you're in. Be true to yourself.